Welcome to the Austin LGBT Chamber of Commerce podcast. I'm Tina Cannon, your host and CEO of the Chamber. On today's pod, we're going to talk local business news. And in the headlines this week, Austin's iconic sail tower is sailing away. Check out the new owners in a minute. COVID relief loans could send debt collectors to small businesses, what you need to know. And the Fed makes an announcement on interest rates. I'm going to guess you can guess, but stay tuned. Plus, our new segment, Fun Facts with Fiona. Hey, crew.
Hey.
There's a lot going on.
Hello.
Hello there.
Woo! Amy, Colton, and Fiona, part of the Chamber team that make all the magic happen. Welcome. How y'all doing?
Pretty good. How are we doing? Good?
Yeah.
Fine.
Staying busy.
Yeah. Fine. Trying to keep warm.
A few weeks out from South by Southwest.
Yes. More
That
on
is-
that soon.
Planning for our day at the Capitol. More on that soon. Planning for
Wowie.
our inner city trip. More on that soon.
Wowie.
Plus just our normal day-to-day membership, support, services, connecting, educating, advocating.
Mm-hmm. We don't do anything around here.
We are happily looking for a new liquor sponsor just for the chamber office. Anybody wants to
yeah.
volunteer.
And also a couple events.
Yes, also some fast approaching events.
And any corporations that would like to move their DEI program to us.
Exactly. But moreover, a bar for the office would be helpful.
Wow.
Just saying, selfishly.
It makes us sound happier on the podcast.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
It does. Plus, it's so freaking cold in our office that
Mm-hmm.
I don't want my teeth to clang
Yeah,
together.
we need to keep warm with some whiskey.
With some whiskey in the belly.
I'll have gin, please.
Oh, yes. A
Oh.
little G&T.
Yes, have a little G&T.
Well, let's take a look at some local headlines. The iconic Austin Sail Tower, or sometimes referred to as the Google Building, one of the largest transactions that closed this last couple of weeks. Cousins Properties paid nearly $500 million for the sail tower. Came together in what they call the perfect storm of ideal conditions. That's according to our friend Tim Hendricks over at Cousins. He's a senior vice president and all-around badass when it comes to local land and buildings. He is the managing director for Cousins. They bought the 35-story tower from Trammell Crow back in December. It was like kind of a on the table, off the table, on the table deal. But it is a very unique building, says Hendricks. And hopefully they're ready to move pretty quickly within a matter of a couple of weeks. They've got to do some reconfigurations in the space. It's been kind of just collecting dust. Some other investors that are looking and hesitated. They were kind of in, out. One of that was tech giant Google, but they haven't quite moved in yet. They're going to lease some space in the tower.
And I think their lease is through like 2038.
Yeah, it's a
or something.
long time out. So and they might sublease part of it, but I think they want to kind of put their footprint on it as still their space.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a meeting with some Googlers last week and they excitedly told me that they were going to be moving over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
long
so
overdue.
Be good.
It's a beautiful addition to our skyline.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the building.
Yes, you can thank our friends over at...
STG.
There you go.
Hi, Christy. Love you. Hi, Dre. Okay, that's enough.
Yeah, I
love you
I'm
all.
excited for it because it's a big empty building. It's been adding to the unoccupancy levels in Austin. So just coming out of COVID, we were at about 18% unoccupied downtown in the CBD, and now we're just over 20%. So I'm happy to have them lease it. I'm happy to have them put people in those buildings and
Mm-hmm.
come back into the office, come to work.
Mhm.
It's a good
Yeah.
thing.
If you would like to adopt us and give us office space.
We'd be game with that. That'd be
Yeah.
good.
Or a bar
Okay.
We'll take either.
with a bartender.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, like all those tech companies tend to have those,
Like, it's like they don't want you to leave.
enticements. Yeah.
It's like they
Yeah.
don't want you to leave.
There's a movie. I think it's called The Circle, kind of based on Cupertino's circular office Apple's office out in Cupertino.
Yeah.
And so the movie's called The Circle, and it's basically everything you would ever need, and you never need to leave.
Yeah.
The Circle. And that they
Mhm.
monitor. Of course, it's a little thriller, creepy, like they monitor you and all the things.
Like
but-
Severance.
That's exactly what I was
Like
going to say.
Severance.
Are we hedging onto
Except-
Severance
Yeah.
with this
Yeah,
conversation?
except nobody's walking through white walls.
Yeah,
They're
there's a-
designed like that, all the workspaces now.
Yeah,
Like-
like the enticement of like, we have a dental office.
We
got
have
this.
like
Yeah.
a
there's,
ping pong table room. We've
there's
got,
a huge tech company like a block and a half away from our office that
Mhm.
has like vending machines where you can get Apple chargers
Oh
for
my.
free. Like
yeah.
music jam room with like guitar, drums, like video game rooms,
Yep.
snacks all the time.
Basically,
like
my son's room.
cafeteria. Yeah, like
Right.
Yeah.
wild.
At my last job at our corporate office, there was like a whole games room downstairs with a massive gym, like
Oh,
a food court. You name it. They don't want you to go
They
home.
don't want you to go home. It's like the circle. You're in, and you are in. Remember back in COVID times and all those beautiful relief loans happened that kept small businesses afloat? Well, lawmakers are looking at targeting kind of a callback on some of those loans. The Small Business Administration would be mandated to send some of those loans made under the COVID Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program to the Treasury Department for collections under legislation put forth by the Senate Small Business Committee. The act would require SBA to refer any loans made through the EIDL program that are eligible for collection to the Treasury Department. They would have the option to suspend and or make collection efforts. That referral would essentially remove the discretion of the SBA. There's been kind of a back and forth on this, right? There was this urge to like pay, and then lawmakers were concerned about what that impact would be to small businesses coming out of COVID. And they kept extending the deadline. And then, no, you don't have to pay it back. There's been so much flux in this space that, having the SBA just decide kind of arbitrarily on their own is not good either. So putting some rules around it. But
Well, and this impacts so many businesses. It's like over 4 million loans, right?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
huge number.
Yeah, it's not tiny. I mean, it still needs to pass House and Senate and then be signed by the guy in the office there. I think I'm just trying to refuse to say his name during the podcast at all. I just can't. But they could also tack it on, right? We've got looming government shutdowns ahead as they try to put forth a budget in the next couple of weeks, so it could go on as a rider. But we'll keep monitoring where this program is and what the legislation would look like, because we want to make sure that our small businesses that were saved because of these are able to retain and maintain. Granted, there was a lot of fraud. There were a lot of bags of shit human beings that were taking advantage of this and creating bullshit companies and signing up. And those people should be in jail. For
But
sure.
finding those people out of all the people that got loans, I can imagine I would question whether that's a good use of time. Let's, move on, get on with it. And
Well,
learn.
the other genius that's up there, we'll probably just close it all down anyway. So they want to pay back anybody.
Exactly. Are they actually going to have any staff left to do this work?
I don't get it.
Isn't everyone getting let go anyway, or told to go find
I don't
another
know.
job?
ProPublica has a pretty cool tracking.
Do they? On
What kind of tracking?
What's being
Yeah.
shut down?
Well, yes, and who works underneath him in the Doge.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Douche. And the douche. It's a French
Yeah.
pronunciation.
Sure. I believe you.
So the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, met last week. The group met last week and told lawmakers that they are in no rush to slash interest rates anytime soon. He says, quote, with our policy stance now significantly less restrictive than it had been in the economy remaining strong, we do not need to be in a hurry to adjust our policy stance. He's basically saying that because they don't comment typically on financial policy, but they do place close attention to what Washington is doing and how that's shaping the economy. So, of course, in the last month, the guy in the round office rolled out a flurry of policies that could impact consumer pricing, labor market, economic growth, global stability, those little things, with all of his EOs coming out of the office. So slashing an interest rate is just not what the Fed's ready to do now. Fed is there really to kind of control monetary policy and to make sure that we are not sliding in or out of recessionary times. But they also work off predictive factors, and it's a little difficult to predict what a Cheeto is going to do on a daily basis.
Yes.
Yeah, there are lots of tariffs happening and extension of tax cuts.
Yes.
So much Cheetle.
But fortunately, Jerome is like a very level-headed professional at what he does, and he doesn't answer to the president in that way. And so he has some latitude to be the one that is controlling interest rates. Of course, as a chamber, right, we want the interest rates to go down, but not that causes, recession times to hit. We want the cost of money to be cheaper, but we also want to make sure that our dollars continue to value the way it needs to be in these very weird times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Jerome Powell, he's got a secure job, right? Like he's not going to suddenly.
Yeah, he's secure.
Yeah. Okay. I mean
he
the
was
person
asked,
in the round office can't suddenly decide he wants to
he
replace
tried.
it with his bestie.
No, he can't. And so he did, the round office guy did, kind of not hint, but say on his whatever platform that Jerome needed to step down. Jerome's like, go pound sand.
Nice.
Not leaving.
Nice.
Yeah. It's
So
kind of like
somebody's actually someone's standing up and saying something and doing something.
Yeah,
This
it doesn't
is
take
fabulous.
much to have a spine.
Wow.
It's just like 14 vertebrae is stacked together. Like it's not much. You just got to stand erect. That's it. But I love the.
I mean, you could sit direct.
I love the exchange though on social the other day with Sam Altman and the
Oh my
Muskox.
gosh.
That was so juicy.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
So if you're listening, it was the Muskox made a play for OpenAI.
Yeah.
And gave them an offer of like, I don't know.
It was 97.4 billion.
Yeah, which is a
he
joke.
was like, no, but we'll buy Twitter for 9.74 billion.
That one even made NPR as well. So that's how I actually know about it.
Yeah.
It was glorious.
I mean, OpenAI is valued at like $500 billion, and he's offering chump change for it. I'm like, this is not bargain basement, bro. Well, actually, what he was doing, it was smart in the sense. So OpenAI has a for-profit and a non-profit side. So he was offering the whatever the number was for OpenAI, the 90-something billion, but he was offering it for the foundation. But the foundation has controlling rights and controlling votes over the for-profit. So he was trying to backdoor his way in to getting control of the board and decision making on OpenAI. Slippery little ox. Oh my goodness. Yeah, lots of stuff happening here locally. I know Colton has a gazillion events to go over, so stay tuned for that. But let's talk about some new members that have joined here recently.
Oh, yes.
Look at that groove.
That is groovy.
We
We have a lot of new members. Soulfly Social.
Yay.
Yeah, a pole dancing studio here in Austin.
You know, I've been meaning to take up pole dancing.
I thought you might.
Yeah.
And like, what is it? Pole dancing and aerial
Acrobatics?
Yeah.
Something?
Yeah.
I'll go try that.
It's very
Yeah.
athletic.
Team bonding.
Let's do it.
It'd be like, for me, it'd be Team Thunk.
We definitely need to go.
Wear some padding. Createscape Co-working also joined the chamber. Welcome. Austin Chamber Music Center. Lots to look forward to there.
Good stuff. I like their name.
And then we have some small town big pride folks.
Oh,
Amazing.
Who?
We have Little Trouble. It's a basement
yes.
restaurant and
It's
bar.
really cute.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like
remember
there's
that one.
ghosts down there. If there's not, I'm just going to say there are because
Probably.
it needs ghosts.
I have no doubt. Actually, I think Jaden, the owner, would attest to that. I think
There
there
you
is a little girl or something that runs around.
Okay. It's always a little girl, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Why is that?
I don't know. Like they seem so innocent, but they're really pissed off once they die.
I wonder why.
Are you sure they didn't just see me running around after your birthday party?
I think it's just like feminine rage all the time, every century. Also, O'Donnell's Pub
Lovely.
Yeah.
and Thorn and Bread Mercantile.
Excited for that.
Is that one on the square too?
It is.
Love.
It's very cute. It's coffee and plants
Oh my gosh, that is literally two of my favorite things.
and grocery goods and stuff too. And
See you there.
Yeah.
good.
You're gonna love it.
We'll get
Bring a sweater.
We'll talk definitely about the small town big pride, but I skipped over and I apologize. Fun facts with Fiona.
I know, you threw us all off.
I know, I did. Do I have any music for you? Well, that's the original.
That's the opening.
That's the opener, but
Should I just get on with my fun
yeah,
fact?
just blow through it.
Okay. So, seeing as this episode is coming out on Valentine's Day, I thought I'd bring a bit of a loving topic into the fun fact. So, February the 12th, just 2 days before Valentine's Day, is known as National Freedom to Marry Day.
Yay.
Yay!
Nice.
And it actually started in 1999. And it was the organization, nonprofit Lambda Legal, that started Freedom to Marry Day. Then, of course, we need to give shouts to Evan Wolfson, who was the founder of the group named Freedom to Marry that did so much work on marriage equality. I actually met Evan one time in his office in New York in 2011. It was lovely. Anyway, so yeah, February 12th is Freedom to Marry Day, y'all. For all of you who like to celebrate marriage.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, while you still can, run out and go get married.
Coming from a very single person. This message is brought to you by one of the most single bisexuals in Austin. Accepting applications. That's my fun fact.
Usually, I don't know if he's doing it this year, but usually every year the county judge, Travis County Judge, does, Andy Brown performs ceremonies on Valentine's Day for free.
That's cool.
That's nice.
Yes, that's nice. Christy, drink. Every
Help me,
time.
I'm gay. Drink again.
If you don't know what's happening, that means you have not been listening to the podcast. Shame on you. All right, Colton, what do you got for events?
We have so many upcoming events
So
and engagement
many.
opportunities. So many, seriously. You can join us online with NGLCC on February 19th for a virtual event celebrating and honoring Black History Month. Participants will learn about influential Black figures who have made remarkable contributions to civil rights, science, literature, politics, and beyond. We will also share some notable LGBTQ plus community members who have impacted Black history. You can also join us on February 20th for our monthly chamber happy hour at El Rival. That one should be super fun. We're celebrating their community impact grant that they received
Yay.
through us, NGLCC and Grubhub. So awesome.
Yes.
Fantastic food, amazing service.
Yeah, can't wait for the potatoes.
Cool vibes, too.
Yeah.
They're the best.
Cool
Potatoes,
vibes.
bread, everything. And there is an RSVP for that, just to get us an idea of how many people will be there so we know how much space to reserve. On February 22nd, we are heading back to Lockhart for Small Town Big Pride. Registration is now open for that event. You can meet us there for free or ride the Lockhart bus with us for $10.
Yeah.
That includes beverages. And if you want to meet us there, still RSVP so I can let you know where to meet us.
Yes.
Because you have a map for us, won't you?
Yes, a map, a list.
Pop around
All
the shops.
the things
Yeah.
are happening.
We'll make sure you don't miss a business. There are so many cool businesses out there in Lockhart.
But make sure you stick around for proclamation and ribbon cutting ceremony around 6
Where?
on the courthouse lawn. You
Love.
can't miss it. It's a big, red, beautiful building in the middle of the
It
square.
is really, I think, one of the prettiest
Well,
courthouse
you know how that
buildings in Texas.
You know how that happened, right?
Give us a little Lockhart lore.
Transformers,
Oh, okay.
the movie.
With Megan Fox, the first one?
Yep.
The hottie.
Love.
Filmed in Lockhart, partially. They blew out the side of one of the buildings.
Oh.
And as a thank you to the town for the mess and like the prolonged stay, they refurbished and refinished the courthouse for us.
Wow.
That's lovely.
Isn't
That's
that
real
nice?
cool.
Yeah.
Because it is a really nice building. It's a beautifully, I mean, the architecture is gorgeous. So I'm glad that they were able to.
Yeah.
I've never been inside it. Maybe we'll try
It's
and venture in one
it's
day.
cool. It's funny because it's like the DMV, and then
Yeah.
it's like HR for all county stuff. Like where I get my paycheck for working the elections and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's everything.
It's everything.
It's it's kind of strange, but yeah.
It is a really pretty courthouse.
Yeah, it is.
And I will admit that is my favorite ribbon cutting photo of all time in front of the Lockhart courthouse. It's just so cute.
It might be Transformers too. It's one of the Transformers. Anyway, it's one of the Transformers. Now that I'm thinking on it.
Yeah, I did
But
not
anyway.
anticipate
Well, if it's
that
not the
story.
first one, Megan Fox was not in it.
So many things are filmed in Lockhart these days.
does the building dome come off and it becomes like it stands up and walks around town?
No, but the clock in the
Just
clock
like
tower.
an arm reaches out and hands you a brisket.
The clock in the clock tower is maintained and managed by the manager of the clock museum across the street.
A clock museum. Riveting.
The Texas Clock Museum. It's actually kind of fun.
I guess.
All of the
How many
clocks are
clocks
set
do you
to
sell?
like different times, so they chime the whole time you're in there.
Yeah, I stepped in there and looked.
It's a
then I ran
non-profit.
away.
It's like donation. I
Yeah,
think they're
it's
only
cute.
open on the weekend. And
Okay.
you just like, you donate. You look at all the old clocks. I don't know. I grew up with cuckoo clocks and grandfather clocks, so it's kind of
I
They
just
make
grew
me
up with a
anxious.
cuckoo.
They make me anxious.
cuckoo clocks
Yeah.
because you don't know what's
I
going to
think I
pop
was-
out of there.
I don't know. I think it's my great grandfather.
Or is it like the creepy little wooden dancing children?
all of the above?
Please keep off of
No,
the
my
grass. Wipe
my
your shoes,
great-grandfather-
Wipe your face.
Dulot. Yeah, whatever. What else are we doing? You can also join us on February 27th. We will be officially welcoming Hope Rising Pelvic Health to the Austin LGBT Chamber. Join us at Data Labs. No need to RSVP for this one. Come hang out with us and Dr. Ash. There will be an interactive art installation, refreshments, and more.
That's-
Interesting.
That's a ribbon cutting,
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
All right. Good pelvic
Um,
health. If you have a pelvis, you
It's-
should go.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting, and like the work that they do for like gender affirming care is very interesting. So we should
Okay.
get Dr. Ash to give us like a little lesson or
Yeah.
have them on the show.
Yeah.
South by Southwest
Wah,
is also
wah.
coming up very quickly. Please join us at the 12th annual Big Queer Kickoff Party at Rain on 4th. Plus, a discussion the next morning on the power of queer storytelling, moderated by our very own Fiona Dawson.
I'm so excited for this one. I can't believe it. Last year I was volunteering. This year I'm on the team
That's what happens.
Mhm.
doing it. It's great.
And I will
Thank
say
you.
Fiona is the best moderator.
It's sweet.
That's
It was a very awesome discussion last year.
Yeah,
I
last
don't
year
know.
was
People
really
like
good.
stuck around and
Mhm.
asked so many questions,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I loved it.
All walks of life were in there too. Very engaged.
Yeah.
I'm ready for South by season.
Oh, me too.
I love it.
It's going to be so
I
fun.
love the energy, the
Yeah.
buzz. The city's electric. The weather's freaking perfect.
Yeah.
It is nice
Oh.
weather.
So much fun. More information on all of that very, very soon. You can also find it in your South by Southwest schedule if you are attending.
Mm.
You can
It's very
also
fancy.
register
Wow.
for our upcoming luncheon on March 5th.
Yes.
I got a little out of order there.
It's okay.
But registration is now open for that luncheon, and we will have more information on that very soon.
Yes, and it will not be in the throes of South by, so you don't have to worry about that.
Right.
Yeah, we won't make you park downtown during
Yes.
South by, I promise.
But these luncheons, it's not a hard sell, people. Like we're at the mercy of the space and how much room they have, but they always sell out. So not a hard sell. I'm just saying if you want to go, you get online and register to attend.
And if you've never been to one, it's a really great way to figure out or to meet other chamber members and also find out more about us and what we do every day.
Right.
Registration will also open soon for the Texas LGBTQ Plus Chambers of Commerce Day at the Capitol. You can join representatives from Austin, North Texas, Houston, and San Antonio LGBTQ chambers for a day of advocacy. Learn how to navigate the Capitol and speaking to your elected officials. Business is business.
Yeah.
100%.
I already have my suit picked out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And tennis shoes, I hope, because these floors are rough.
I'll probably wear these.
Years ago when I was like lobby, like I would dress accordingly. And
Yeah.
oh my Lord, I almost busted my tail
You,
end.
are we going to see you in like sass shoes? What are we
Because I was
talking
wearing
about here?
sassy shoes and I was, nope, never again.
I'm a big fan of some of the tile in the Texas state
Oh,
capitol.
God.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Ew, what?
I'm a big fan of the the rotunda, the one outside that you look
Oh,
down
the one
into.
you got married in?
Yeah, it's my wedding venue.
Oh, that's nice.
It would be so cute to look down there and see you and Christy getting married instead of a bunch of rattlesnakes.
Yeah,
Because that's how I usually see it.
Oh, when is Rattlesnake Day this year? Have we looked it up?
Hopefully
Are we sharing a
not
day
on our
again?
day.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably on our day.
Probably.
They're like, when are the gays coming?
When you
It's a whole different kind of hiss.
And snake.
Oh,
Oh, catty.
Yeah.
wow. We also have lots of member events coming up, including Itzhak Perlman in recital at the Long Center,
Amazing.
the Leadership Austin Conference. If you're going, I'll see you there. Weekly Trans Mask and weekly Trans Femme workouts at Out Wellness. And, as I already mentioned, South by Southwest Conference and Festival. As always, you can find out more about all of these events at austinlgbtchamber.com.
Yeah.
So many things.
So many things. That webpage should keep you busy for a while.
Truly.
I think I just passed out.
Yeah.
Can't breathe.
You know when you got to register, it's going to be good too. So, like Tina said, it's going to sell out.
Yes. Get online. Mark your calendars for all of the things that are coming up in the next few weeks. We'll keep reminding you on this, but like register.
Yeah, and if you're, I forgot one more. If you're in the Health and Wellness Committee, we will be offering free CPR certification to our Health and Wellness members in April.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned for that.
Nice. That's great.
It's super great because we're all going to have a heart attack before the end of the year. So
Yeah,
I would
Yeah.
kind of like y'all
let's
to know
get
what
certified.
to do.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
A truckload of events, a truckload of things happening, and more to come at this chamber. As always, we thank you for joining us. If you want to be a sponsor or a guest on the show, you can email us at info@austinlgbtchamber.com. Listen to our show every Friday, wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to follow us. Thanks, and we'll see y'all next time.